Thank you very much for staying with us once again. Thomas Partey is trending. Thomas Partey is trending. Yes, and tomorrow Arsenal Football Club is playing versus Real Madrid Football Club in the UEFA Champions League. Why is Thomas Partey trending? Yes. We are bringing you all the details in this video on this channel. Arsenal fans have reacted, and what are they saying? We are bringing you all the details in this video, and then we'll look briefly at Ernest Nuama, a Black Stars player who has recently been confirmed to have gotten anterior cruciate ligament injury and will be out for about 6 to 8 months. We are bringing you a little detail or news on him also in this video on this channel, Sport 7GH. Thank you very much for staying with us. Please do also subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell and select, or leave your thoughts, comment, views, opinions below in the comment section if you have any. It's always a great pleasure to have you join us. Thank you very much for staying with us. So Thomas Partey is a fantastic Ghanaian player playing for Arsenal Football Club whose contract is running out. In fact, in the next 2 months, okay, in June 2025, Thomas Partey will be having no contract with Arsenal. His contract with Arsenal would have run out, and so he'll be a free agent and will be free to join any other club. So, one Arsenal fan, in fact, let me give you the backstory. You know that Thomas Partey wasn't available for Arsenal Football Club in the game they played versus Everton, okay, over the weekend, where they drew 1-1, okay? And I came to tell you that it is clear that whenever Thomas Partey is not playing for Arsenal, the midfield of Arsenal, clearly it looks like there is a problem with the midfield. Clearly it looks like they are missing something in the midfield. And that's what happened versus Everton. That's what happened. You clearly saw that Arsenal are missing Thomas Partey in terms of destroying the attack of the opponent, in terms of helping to transit from defense to attack, trying to find the attackers in the right spaces at the right time and creating the chances for helping to create chances for the team. Looks like they missed that, and their midfield was so raw and all of that. So I wasn't the only person with the view that Thomas Partey is so much important to the Arsenal team that they cannot lose him this season. So Lee Ghana, okay, is an Arsenal fan, and he went to Twitter to ask that will Arsenal fans give Thomas Partey 1 more year contract with the club? Will Arsenal fans give Thomas Partey 1 more year contract? Because we've also heard that Arsenal are looking to get Zubimendi from Real Sociedad to Arsenal Football Club to come and play the defensive midfield role, the role that Thomas Partey is playing. And a lot of people think that Zubimendi, with his experience with Real Sociedad over the years for the Spanish national team and all of that, he's going to do a better job than Thomas Partey. So people think that why should Thomas Partey's contract be extended, especially when Thomas Partey is over 30 years and somehow injury prone. But in this season, he stayed clean, no injuries at all. All right, for Thomas Partey. So should Arsenal extend Thomas Partey's contract or not? That was the question Lee Ghana posed to the Arsenal fans, and some of the Arsenal fans answered this question, and we are sharing with you. So I want to you, my viewers, also to share your views, opinions in the comment section of the video. Do you think Arsenal should extend the contract of Thomas Partey for 1 more year? Yeah. For me, let me tell you my view even before we go into what people are saying. For me, I think that Arsenal do not need Thomas Partey for 1 more year. They need him for at least 2 years. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Look, it is all right for you to think that Zubimendi or any other midfielder can come and do the job Thomas Partey is doing, or even do it better. It is all right for you to think so. When Mikel Merino was coming to Arsenal, everybody thought that he was going to boss the midfield and be a very integral player when it comes to midfield for Arsenal. What is the story now? 0 in terms of midfield. He doesn't contribute anything. Mikel Merino is virtually being used as a different profile player than the one we knew him when he was coming. He's not being used as a striker, sometimes as a winger and the rest. Because when it comes to the Arsenal midfield now, Gasano Boga, he cannot play and play it well. We've had Arsenal gone for players they thought were going to change their style of play, were going to improve them in certain aspects, and when the players came, the players couldn't play. And now you are going to bet or gamble on Zubimendi to come and do exceptional well. Now, look at even Manchester City when they went for players like this player from Leeds United. Right, he couldn't play Manchester City. Calvin, oh god, the name just slipped. When it's coming, then it goes back. So do you get our point? Certain players have come to the English Premier League that you expect, in fact, and to certain teams, top teams, you expected them to deliver, but they failed to deliver. And it's not their fault. So I'm saying that Arsenal cannot they cannot gamble on Zubimendi to deliver for them. That is just my point. He can come and hit the ground running. He can also come and will need more than one season to adapt to the Arsenal setup before he will do well. And Arsenal without Thomas Partey this season, they've just been so poor and so bad that they will need Thomas Partey whether they like it or not. And that is the truth. So I'm saying that Arsenal doesn't need Thomas Partey for one season. No. They need Thomas Partey for at least 2 seasons. So give him that 2 years contract. The only thing you are always going to say is that he's injury prone. He's injury prone. When you need Thomas Partey, he's not there. When you need Thomas Partey, he's not there. But this season, Thomas Partey has shown that he can stay fit and he will try to stay fit. So if any magic that the Arsenal medical team, any magic that Thomas Partey himself have used to ensure that he stays fit this season, they should continue to use the magic in the next 2 years, and Thomas Partey will deliver while you bring other young players to come and understudy, to not be under pressure to start the ground running. All right, yes, because Arsenal wants to win the Premier League next season. Any midfielder or any player who comes in, you don't have the luxury of time to say that you're adapting. What are you adapting? You are not adapting to anything. Let the ground go. Like, make sure you are performing what from the onset. So can you gamble, or are you ready to gamble that Zubimendi or any midfielder you go for is going to do the job just as Thomas Partey is doing? That is why I think that Thomas Partey doesn't need 1 year with Arsenal. In fact, Arsenal must ensure that they give Thomas Partey at least 2 years contract with the team so that he will try his best and then put the team in a very good position before he leaves the club. Is that not it? It's as simple as that. And Thomas, I'm sure if you talk to him about his wages, and I'm sure that's also the next thing they are going to say, that his wages is too much and all of that. I'm sure if you talk to him about those wages and all of that, he's going to try his best to do something about it. Is that not it? Because he's aging and all of that. I'm sure Thomas, he loves Arsenal. He would want to do something about it. So Arsenal must first show the desire. That's the truth. Right now, as we speak now, Arsenal haven't shown the desire to keep Thomas Partey, and that is the truth. They've not shown. It looks like they want to let him go. But if you've seen this season, games that Thomas Partey isn't playing for Arsenal, you will see that indeed Arsenal really struggles in games Thomas Partey doesn't play. And it is a fact. It is a known fact. Especially in the midfield. Even if they win, you will see that they are struggling and they keep struggling. So these are some of the views of Arsenal fans. Let's just go straight to the issues and the views of Arsenal fans and talk to you about, in fact, 90% of the fans are saying that Thomas Partey should be given 1 year contract or even more. I think just 10% of the fans said Thomas Partey should be let's go. A lot of the fans are saying that Thomas Partey should be given 1 year contract or even more. So let's start off with Bobby Dazzler. He says that why would he take it? He would chase big wages on a free with his last long-term deal of his career. Can't blame him or the club. And DKB says absolutely we should give him that 1 year contract. Supra says that 2 years! Exclamation mark. Uche says hell yeah. Olufemi Lance says yes. Mena 88 says of course he's still a world-class player and Zubimendi will probably need time to adapt. That is probably just what I was saying. Is that not it? And then we'll look at some other views from other fans. TEE says 100%. Jabaya says, I'm sorry, but we need someone who is consistent and not injury prone. But this season, he has shown that he is not injury prone. He can stay fit. Scott in Chicago says, I'll give him a +1+1. But I think he's looking for something longer term at this point in his career and probably won't get it here. Kelvin, it would be bad squad planning to not keep him for the year if Jorginho is going. Ade Damola Capital, yes, he even deserves 2-year contract with his impact in that team this year. He deserves it. Mogale says that no doubt you can't lose Jorginho and Thomas Partey at the same time because the whole wisdom will be out the window. And then also Sympathy says at a 3-year contract, I have seen enough when Partey is not in that midfield role. Colvin Da says we'll give him 2 years contract extension with an option for 1 year more. With both hands and legs, Aaron Busiku. And then Charles says I would just for the sake of not losing both Partey and Jorginho in the same window. And Arsenal Kamba says yes. Drisney Kevo says nah, as soon as he signed that dotted line, he will be injured. I know that's the script. Ghana Ray says no, a 2-year contract instead. Ross McDuff says will he only take a 1-year contract, meaning he would give him more. 1 year will be fine, but he won't accept that, Nelson says. And then Kenzo Kwanzaa says only 1 year, I would give him a 5-year contract, mate. Players nowadays can play at a decent level at least until they turn 36, 37, and Partey is only 31. A Blaze for God says depends on who Arsenal will sign. Zubimendi plus 1 year Thomas Partey extension, or Zubimendi plus a new signing this season has proven that having a large squad is very important. What are you waiting for, Arsenal managers? Young Face. And Ross says between him and Gabriel for player of the year for us, so would be stupid not to try and get him to sign. So these are the views of Arsenal fans concerned with would they give Thomas Partey a contract extension or not. Now, Arsenal will be playing versus Real Madrid tomorrow, and it's a top of the table clash in the UEFA Champions League. The last time Arsenal met Real Madrid in the UEFA Champions League, they qualified ahead of Real Madrid. In fact, you remember Thierry Henry's exploit and all of that. And in fact, in that competition, they went all the way to the finals and were beaten by Barcelona, took the trophy. So Arsenal are they will be missing players like Gabriel, all right, Gabriel Magalhaes and all of that. But in the midfield, you cannot. And if you look at Arsenal versus Real Madrid, one player Arsenal will be counting on, aside the likes of Saka and the Reds, is Thomas Partey. His experience versus Real Madrid, because Thomas Partey has played in the Madrid derby a lot of time when he was with Atletico Madrid. Is that not it? So he has the experience playing for Real Madrid. He doesn't fear anything. He has the quality to play versus them. And in tomorrow's game versus Real Madrid, Thomas Partey in the midfield is one of the key things that will determine whether Arsenal will qualify to the next round or not. And so that tells you of the quality of the player. It tells you how good and how experienced a whole package you have in a player. So why would you let him go? Why? Why would you let such a player go? It's some way. But Mikel Arteta has explained why Thomas Partey wasn't present or didn't take part in their game they played versus Everton over the weekend. And he says that there were 4 players that couldn't start the game after what happened with Fulham and obviously the injury of Gabi. So that forces you as well to make some changes, he said during the post-match presser. Players deserve to play minutes. So I'm very happy with that. Everybody has to be important, has to feel important. They have so many games coming up right now, and we have to rely on all of them. This is what Arsenal's manager Mikel Arteta said concerning benching Thomas Partey and some key players in that particular game versus Everton. Let me know your thoughts, comments, views, opinions in the comment section. Like the video, hit the notification bell, and select. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.